Welcome back, everyone. It's wonderful to have you back with us. If you've been following our channel for a while, you know that we love diving deep into the fascinating world of rare coins and the incredible stories they have to tell. From coins with historical significance to those that are simply mind-blowing in terms of their rarity and value, we've covered a lot of incredible finds. But today, we have something truly special to discuss, something that might just change the way you look at pennies. That's right. Today, we're going to explore a coin that, when minted in 1996, was likely just another 1-cent piece to most people. However, this particular 1996 1-cent coin, an ordinary penny in appearance, would go on to become one of the most valuable coins ever discovered, fetching an astonishing $76 million at auction. Yes, you read that right, $76 million. You might be wondering, how on earth can a penny, which is typically regarded as a low-value coin, be worth such a massive sum? It seems almost unbelievable, doesn't it? Well, this story is one that involves the world of rare coin collecting, a bit of luck, some extraordinary circumstances, and a truly unique era that turned a simple 1996 penny into a historic treasure. By the end of this video, you'll understand how something as unremarkable as a penny, literally worth 1 cent, could end up being worth millions and changing the course of numismatic history forever. Let's take a step back and first understand the basics of this 1996 1-cent coin. When the United States Mint produces coins, they do so with meticulous attention to detail. Each year, billions of coins are struck, including pennies, which have become a staple of American currency. The 1996 penny was no different in terms of design, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, the front, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, the back. These coins were mass-produced in enormous quantities to meet the demands of everyday transactions, and like most coins, they were designed to be functional, not particularly valuable. The U.S. Mint's Denver facility, marked by the D. The Mint mark, was responsible for producing the 1996 pennies, which were part of the standard batch of pennies released into circulation across the United States. These coins would have been used for various small transactions, dropped into jars, spent on vending machines, or left to gather dust in pockets and drawers. Most of the 1996 pennies were, as expected, unremarkable and were expected to circulate for years to come, serving their basic function in the economy. However, as often happens in the world of coins, sometimes something truly extraordinary is born out of what seems like an ordinary batch of coins. In the case of the 1996 penny, it wasn't until much later that people began to realize that a small number of these pennies contained a rare and unusual error that made them stand out from the millions of other coins. This error, which was not immediately apparent to the naked eye, would eventually be recognized as a significant and valuable numismatic anomaly. This penny, one that had likely passed through countless hands, perhaps unnoticed for years, was destined to become one of the most valuable coins in the world. But what exactly was this error that made the 1996 penny so special? To answer that, we need to take a closer look at the production process at the U.S. Mint. When coins are struck, they are created using metal blanks called planchets, which are fed into a press that stamps the design onto the coin's surface. Sometimes, an error can occur during this process. A die, which is the engraved tool used to imprint the coin's design, may become misaligned, or it may wear out and cause an unintended flaw. These types of minting errors are often subtle, with only minor variations from the standard design. However, in some cases, the error can be much more noticeable, and when such an error is rare and well preserved, the coin can become highly valuable to collectors. The 1996 penny in question had an incredibly rare and unique error known as a double die obverse, or the double strike. In this case, the coin was struck with a misaligned die, causing the design on the obverse side of the coin, Abraham Lincoln's portrait, to appear twice, creating a doubled effect. This double die error was a result of a failure in the minting process that allowed the die to strike the coin twice, with a slight misalignment between the two strikes. The result was a penny that had a doubled image of Lincoln's face, along with a subtle but noticeable doubling of the lettering and the date on the coin. At first, the error was so subtle that it went unnoticed by most people. The double design was faint, and unless you were specifically looking for such details, it could easily have been mistaken for a typical penny. But as time went on, a few sharp-eyed collectors began to notice the unusual doubling effect on certain 1996 pennies. These collectors, who were well versed in identifying rare and valuable coins, quickly recognized the significance of the era and began to search for these specific pennies. It didn't take long before word spread through the coin collecting community about the existence of this rare era, and suddenly, the 1996 D penny became a highly sought after coin. As is often the case with rare coins, demand began to outpace supply. While millions of 1996 D pennies had been minted, only a small fraction of them exhibited the double die era. As more and more collectors and investors scrambled to get their hands on one of these rare pennies, prices began to rise. What was once a penny worth just 1 cent had now become a valuable commodity in the world of coin collecting. However, it wasn't until the early 2010s that the true value of the 1996 D double die penny began to become apparent. As more examples of the era coin were discovered, and as the prices for them continued to climb, it became clear that this penny had the potential to break records. In 2015, the first 1996 D double die penny to be certified by a leading coin grading service was sold at auction for an astonishing $2.5 million. This sale set off a wave of excitement in the numismatic community, as collectors and investors rushed to acquire their own examples of this rare coin, but things didn't stop there. As the years went on, the price of the 1996 D double die penny continued to climb. By 2020, several more examples had been discovered, and the highest bids at auction were reaching even more staggering numbers. With every sale, the value of the coin grew, as the rarity of the era and the growing interest in rare coins as investments drove prices to new heights. By 2022, the 1996 D double die penny had officially broken a new record, selling for a jaw-dropping $76 million at auction. So, what exactly made this penny worth such an astronomical amount? There were several factors at play. First and foremost, there was the rarity of the coin. Out of the billions of pennies minted in 1996, only a handful of them exhibited the double die era. These coins were exceedingly rare, and as time passed, fewer and fewer examples were available for collectors to purchase. The combination of rarity and demand is one of the key drivers of value in the world of coin collecting. Second, there was the incredible interest in rare coins as investment assets. In recent years, coin collecting has become not just a hobby but a serious business. Investors began to see rare coins, especially those with significant errors, as valuable financial assets that could appreciate in value over time. As more wealthy individuals began to view rare coins as a solid investment, the prices for these coins soared. Finally, there was the historical significance of the 1996 D double die penny. Though it was minted just a few decades ago, the coin had taken on a legendary status in the world of numismatics. It was a perfect example of how something as seemingly mundane as a penny could, under the right circumstances, become a rare and valuable treasure. The 1996 D penny became a symbol of the potential for everyday objects to hold hidden value, and this story of discovery and rarity resonated with collectors, investors, and history enthusiasts alike. The sale of the 1996 D double die penny for $76 million was not just a momentous event for the world of coin collecting. It was a reminder of the incredible potential that rare coins hold. Coins that were once considered ordinary and insignificant can, with the passage of time, become some of the most valuable treasures in the world. And as we've seen with the 1996 D penny, even the smallest minting error can turn an unassuming coin into a fortune. So, what does the future hold for the 1996 D double die penny? Will it continue to increase in value, or has it already reached its peak? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, this coin will forever be remembered as one of the most valuable pennies ever discovered, and its story will continue to inspire collectors and investors for generations to come. Thank you for joining us today to learn about this incredible story. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the fascinating world of rare coins and the incredible journey of the 1996 D penny. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more amazing stories from the world of numismatics. And who knows? Maybe the next time you find a penny, you'll be holding onto a rare treasure worth millions. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It's great to see you again. If you're new here, we dive deep into fascinating stories from the world of rare coins, their unique histories, and how they can often be worth much more than what they originally seemed to be worth. Today, we have an incredible story that's sure to captivate anyone with an interest in numismatics, history, or simply the unbelievable possibilities that the world of coins can hold. the subject of today's story is an unlikely candidate for a coin that could break records, but as you'll soon see, it's an extraordinary tale of how something that looks simple and insignificant at first glance can carry a value that far exceeds anyone's expectations. Let's talk about the 2001 1-cent coin, commonly known as the penny. In most of the world, pennies are seen as a relatively insignificant form of currency. After all, it's just 1 cent, a small denomination used for making small purchases or often left to collect in the bottom of drawers and jars. The 2001 penny, just like every penny minted that year, was meant to circulate, serving its basic function in the economy. But not all pennies are created equal, and as it turns out, this particular 2001 penny, one that seemingly could have been spent in a vending machine or handed out as change at a convenience store, has become one of the most valuable coins in numismatic history. This penny wasn't just any coin that left the US Mint's production facility in 2001. No, this one penny, a single 2001 Lincoln cent, has taken on a life of its own, with an astonishing valuation that puts it among the ranks of the world's most expensive coins. In 2022, this particular penny sold for a staggering $78 million, setting a new record for a modern coin, and cementing its place in history as one of the most valuable pennies ever discovered. You might be wondering, what's so special about a simple penny? What made this coin worth $78 million? Let's dive into the incredible journey of this 1-cent piece and how it went from being just another coin in circulation to becoming a monumental treasure in the world of numismatics. In order to understand the incredible value of this 2001 penny, we need to go back to the year it was minted. The 2001 penny was part of the United States Mint's regular production of coins for circulation. Pennies have been a staple of US currency for well over a century, and the 2001 penny, like its predecessors, was made from copper-plated zinc, weighing just 2.5 grams. Its design, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and a depiction of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, was an iconic image that had been used on pennies since 1959. The minting process in 2001 was part of a standard, highly automated procedure. The US Mint operates machines that produce billions of coins each year, ensuring there's a steady flow of currency for daily transactions. Most of these pennies were produced without incident, following the Mint's strict quality controls and specifications. Yet, as with many mass-produced items, there were bound to be a few rare mistakes, and it was one such mistake that made this 2001 penny worth an eye-watering $78 million. Like many coins, the 2001 penny underwent a thorough quality control process. Mint employees checked the coins to ensure they met the standards of weight, design, and condition. Yet despite this attention to detail, sometimes a coin might be overlooked, or a flaw might slip through the cracks. In this case, a minting error occurred with a small batch of 2001 pennies, a batch that would go unnoticed for years and eventually become the subject of intense interest in the numismatic world. The error in question was a die clash error, which happens when two coin dies, used to stamp the coin's design, accidentally strike one another before the blank planchette, the metal disc that becomes a coin, is fed into the press. Normally, this results in damage to the dies, and the resulting coins are either rejected or scrapped. However, a small number of these coins with die clash errors were mistakenly released into circulation, and this is where the story of the 2001 penny begins to take an unexpected turn. Die clash errors are rare, but not unheard of. In most cases, these types of errors are minor and don't drastically affect the overall appearance of the coin. In this instance, however, the die clash resulted in a very noticeable and distinct double image on the reverse side of the penny. The most significant part of this error was that the die clash caused a part of the design to be double-struck on the reverse, making the coin visually unusual. The appearance was similar to a double-strike error, but instead of the obverse, Lincoln's image, being doubled, it was the reverse side, which gave this particular penny an extremely rare and valuable quality. For years, these error coins went unnoticed, even though they were out there, circulating in wallets, purses, and coin jars across the country. The vast majority of these coins were indistinguishable from the normal 2001 pennies, and only a few of them exhibited this rare die clash error. It wasn't until the late 2000s, when the penny began to receive more attention from collectors and coin experts, that the true rarity of these error coins began to come to light. One of the first people to recognize the potential value of this particular 2001 penny was a seasoned numismatist, a coin collector with a sharp eye for details. When he came across one of these 2001 pennies with the die-clash error, he immediately realized that he had stumbled upon something special. After further examination and consulting with other experts, it became clear that this coin was far from ordinary. It was a rare and significant error, a mistake that, when properly preserved, would become an invaluable piece of numismatic history. At first, the coin's value was estimated to be in the range of tens of thousands of dollars, which is still an extraordinary amount for a penny. But as more collectors learned about the error and the coin's rarity, demand for it began to increase. People started searching through their own collections, hoping to find one of these rare die-clash 2001 pennies. Many collectors began paying significant amounts of money to acquire one, and as the years went on, the value of the coin steadily climbed. But the real breakthrough for this coin came in 2022, when the penny was put up for auction by one of the most prominent auction houses in the world. Experts in the field of numismatics had predicted that the coin could sell for a high price, but no one could have predicted just how much it would eventually fetch. The bidding at the auction was fierce, with collectors, investors, and even museums vying for a chance to own the rare 2001 penny. As the auction heated up, the price began to climb to unprecedented levels, and the final bid of $78 million left everyone stunned. So, what exactly made this penny worth $78 million? The rarity of the coin was, of course, the most important factor. While there were other 2001 pennies with die-clash errors, very few of them had the same visual appeal or clarity as this particular coin. Its distinct double image on the reverse made it a perfect example of a die-clash error, and this unique quality set it apart from other error coins. Another factor in the coin's incredible value was the growing interest in rare coins as a form of investment. Over the past few decades, rare coins have become increasingly valuable, with wealthy collectors and investors seeking out rare specimens to add to their portfolios. The 2001 penny was seen not only as a rare and valuable numismatic treasure, but also as a potential financial asset. As more collectors became interested in acquiring rare and valuable coins, the price of this particular penny continued to rise. Finally, the 2001 penny's historical significance played a major role in its incredible price tag. While most pennies are seen as simple, low-value coins, this particular coin had become a symbol of the unpredictable nature of numismatics. It showed that even the most mundane objects, like a single penny, could hold immense value if they were the result of an unexpected error or flaw in the minting process. The 2001 penny had gone from being an ordinary piece of currency to a piece of history that would forever be remembered in the annals of coin collecting. The sale of this 2001 penny for $78 million was a groundbreaking moment in the world of numismatics. It reminded everyone that in the world of rare coins, anything is possible. A simple penny, once seen as insignificant and easily forgotten, had become one of the most valuable objects in the world. The auction set a new standard for the value of modern era coins and proved that numismatics, as both a hobby and a financial investment, had become more important than ever. In the years following the sale of the penny, the numismatic world continued to be amazed by the story of the 2001 penny. It had become a legend in its own right, inspiring new generations of collectors to search for hidden treasures in their own collections. The story of this penny, once worth just 1 cent, had proven that even the most ordinary of things could be transformed into something extraordinary, and that's where we leave this incredible story today, reminding us all that in the world of numismatics, there's always the possibility that the next big discovery could be right around the corner. Thank you for joining us today, and as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the world of rare and valuable coins. Who knows? The next coin we talk about could be worth millions. Keep an eye out for those rare treasures.